Hi, I'm Jake. I make RPG supplements and videos about Pathfinder 2, or PF2. I love PF2. And something I love about it is so many friggin' archetypes. And there's a lot that I haven't gotten to cover yet, so I'm going over them again. Even if you've already heard about them, even if you've already read them. Tough, I'm doing it too. So, this is the class archetype for the Inventor. I'm glad there is one. Anyway, so this is the Munitions Master from Battlecry. I will be inserting my own opinions throughout this, and there will be chapters to get to different parts of it. And there's a cat licking his groin. You're welcome. Munitions Master. Invention often springs from necessity, and nothing creates necessity like war. While many inventors innovate new tools or seek fortune or fame, the Munitions Master seeks an edge in battle, one that might mean the difference between victory and defeat for their side. So dramatic. All of Battlecry is so dramatic. I like that. They aim to bring the sheer destructive power of siege weapons to a more compact and personal scale, like a little shoulder bazooka, so that they can be deployed anywhere they are needed. The portable light mortar used by Munitions Masters first appeared in Dongan Hold, a collaboration between the Dongan siege weapon operators and Alkenstar Inventors. That's just lore-wise, it's not actually... They're not actually in... Okay. Siege weapons are in Guns and Gears, but the portable light mortar used by this is not in Guns and Gears. Additional feats. Field Artillery from Guns and Gears, and 16th level Master Siege Engineer also from Guns and Gears. Okay, so you have to be an inventor, obviously, to take this innovation, and this replaces your innovation. I would probably never take this because I love robots. It's just fun. Or if you're taking it as an archetype, I love a weapon that you can just customize and modify because it explains any sorts of BS flavor you want. But this is useful, especially mechanically. So, light mortar invention, we'll go over it. First level, through years of experience and countless hours of experimentation, you've developed a siege weapon compact enough to operate by yourself while still packing a deadly punch. Prerequisites, you must be an inventor. Munitions Master adjustments. Instead of choosing an innovation from the options listed in the Inventor class, you have the light mortar innovation as well as the following changes to the class features listed on the following pages. You gain these abilities at the same levels as normal for the class unless otherwise specified. You must select Munitions Master Dedication as your second level class feat. And also, I love that there are so many depictions of goblins being engineers of some sort. It's just a really fun flavor to give them. Especially if it's explosives, because you know they're not going to make overly complicated stuff that works reliably. Explosives is perfect for them. Innovation. Your innovation is a mounted siege weapon called a light mortar. See the complete rules for siege weapons on page 98 of Battlecry. But the whole rules are also available on Archives of Nethys, because they're also from Guns and Gears. It weighs 2 bulk. Whether it propels its payload via an elaborate mechanism or explosive reagents, it's capable of dealing immense damage, so you flavor this the way you want. Your light mortar requires an interact action to deploy it before you can aim, load, or launch it, and it includes its own wheeled platform that it is mounted on as part of the deployment. So this little image isn't quite perfectly right, but it's okay. Just also imagine like a tiny little wheelbarrow. It can be packed back up for easy transport as a 2-action activity with the Manipulate trait and either worn as a backpack or carried in one hand while packed. Because of the light mortar's smaller size, the move siege engine activity takes only 1 action when it is deployed. Normally it's 2 actions. Your light mortar begins as a first level siege weapon and the statistics shown below. It deals an additional dive damage at 5th level and every 4 levels thereafter. When you launch your light mortar, the reflex save is equal to your class DC. Of course, that was essential that they put that in. I'm glad they did. Its AC is equal to your Inventor class DC, and it has hardness 5. It has trained proficiency in reflex and fortitude saves, using your intelligence modifier to calculate these bonuses. It has 10 hit points plus a number of hit points equal to 2 plus your intelligence modifier for each level you have. Its broken threshold is equal to half its normal hit points rounded down. Sorry, half its total hit points rounded down. So this object, this pet, sort of, is coming out at roughly the same time as the Starfinder 2 little modules that were in the tech playtest. So it seems like they're really branching out in the types of pets you can have in this game, which is cool. I know it's an innovation, it's not really a pet, but I'm talking about like little things that you control that are off to the side of you, like familiars, eidolons. Those are all pets in my opinion. At 5th level, your light motor's hardness increases to 10. At 10th level, it increases to 15. Its proficiency rank in reflex and fortitude saves increases to expert. At 15th level, its hardness increases to 20, and its proficiency rank in reflex and fortitude saves increases to master. Your innovation fires small cannonballs called carry shot. A group of 10 carry shot, which weighs 1 bulk, can be purchased for 5 silver pieces from most shops that sell ammunition. That part's important for your GM to know. So if your GM is new to the Munitions Master, tell them that. You can see all the stats of the light mortar on your screen. I'm not going to go over every single word of it. However, there are a couple of important things to point out, which are partly, the speed is only 20 feet. So if it's deployed and you're moving it, you can only move it 20 feet if you're moving the light mortar. The other option is to pack it up and move it at your speed, and then unpack it again, deploying it, which is a separate action. So that the way you do this is really going to depend on the situation. And also the aim takes 1 action. It says unlimited range, minimum distance 10 feet. That aims at a square. There's still a reflex save involved. It is an attack, but it's not a strike, just in case this comes up. That's what it counts as, but it's aiming at a square. That's why there's a reflex save. And to start off with, it does 2d6 bludgeoning damage and a 10-foot burst. The annoying thing to me is that you have to load it each time. It can't just hold like 6 carry shot. It holds 1 big ball of metal. So here's how this innovation works. Choose 1 initial light mortar modification to apply to your innovation, either from the following or from other initial light mortar modifications to which you have access. These modifications alter the abilities or form of your light mortar. First option is contained shrapnel. I'm sorry. Yeah. You alter your light mortar's ammunition to prevent fragments of it from flying outward on impact. Your innovation gains the non-lethal trait. You can choose whether to apply the non-lethal trait on each launch. That's all it is. It just makes it non-lethal. Enhanced shrapnel. You alter your light mortar's ammunition to change the way it shatters on impact, spraying nearby creatures with a hail of razor-sharp pieces. Your innovation gains the versatile P and versatile S traits. You can choose whether to apply one of these traits on each launch with your innovation. That matters in general because different creatures have different resistances, like skeletons versus zombies. You need to be able to change the kind of damage you do. So enhanced shrapnel is probably necessary. Spring-loaded. You've designed your innovation with springs to quickly unfold and extend components, optimizing it for quick deployment. You can deploy your light mortar as a free action. As I mentioned before, its movement rate isn't great, so deploying as a free action is awesome. It will tremendously help your mobility in combat. For overdrive, as a munitions inventor, your overdrive applies to launches made with the light mortar as if they were strikes. Again, they aren't strikes, but as if they were strikes. I keep pointing out that they're not strikes because there are certain magical or non-magical benefits, mostly magical, that apply to strikes. They don't apply to this innovation. Explode. When you use this ability, the emanation is centered on your innovation, and you can choose to exclude the square you are in from the emanation. That was very important. Glad they included it. Great. At 7th level, Breakthrough Innovation. When choosing a Breakthrough Innovation, choose from the following Breakthrough Light Mortar modifications. As usual, you can choose an initial Light Mortar modification instead if you prefer. I would probably prefer, because I want the mobility and the ability to change the types of damage I do. Blanching Chamber. It counts as cold iron and silver. Earthbreaker. That one's kind of fun, because you damage the terrain that you're targeting at. That area becomes difficult terrain, and it doesn't say that it fades after a round or a minute. You're just damaging the ground. It only deals half damage, though, so that's the trade-off. But it's kind of fun that you could just make a whole damn field difficult terrain. Narrow Blast. Each time you launch, you can choose to have the explosion form a 20-foot cone instead of a 10-foot burst. The cone must originate at the point of impact and can be directed either directly away from you or 45 degrees to either side of that. So it doesn't have to be a 20-foot cone directly from the mouth of the weapon like it is for a breath weapon. Yes, I love you too. I'm sorry, Kitty's blinking at me. I have to talk to him. It's from the point of impact. So that's super useful because it can hit farther. And because you can more easily protect your allies from getting hit by your blasts. Inventive expertise you get at 7th level instead of 9th. Offensive boost at 9th. It applies to launches made with your light mortar as if they were strikes. 15th, you get inventive mastery at 15th instead of 17th. At 15th, when choosing a revolutionary innovation, choose from the following revolutionary light mortar modifications. As usual, you can choose an initial or breakthrough light mortar modification instead if you prefer. These are kind of cool, though, so you probably don't want a light or rather, you don't want an initial or breakthrough. Enhanced damage. It increases the die type. So instead of 2d6, it'd be 2d8. For example. Impossible alloy. This makes it count as all 7 sky metals. Abyssium, adamantine, jazette, nubrix, noqualor, calcum, and sicatite. That's cool, but you don't actually get the special metal effects from those metals. It just counts as those for harming stuff, which sometimes is essential. So sadly, you might have to take those. Precise blast. I wouldn't bother taking this, but that's because I expect people to pay attention in combat. Or like if you have lots of healing, then you also might not need this. You have such precise control over your light mortar that you can wrap the blast of impact around your allies without harming them. When you launch, you can select a number of squares up to your intelligence modifier to exclude from the blast area. That's all it is. It's just making safe squares. Cool. It's not impressive. So here are the additional feats that you have for the class archetype. Munitions Master feats. The Dedication, feat level 2, has the uncommon archetype class and dedication traits. I'm not reading those again. Prerequisites, light mortar innovation. You have drilled enough with your light mortar to operate it with unrivaled efficiency. You gain the engineer's efficiency action. So you have to take this feat in order to become the munitions innovations inventor. That was right. Okay. Engineer's efficiency, 1 action, frequency once per turn, requirements you are adjacent to your light mortar effect. You aim your light mortar and then either load or launch it. So normally that takes 2 separate actions on a siege weapon. You compress them into 1. It's making it useful for a player. Next feat, level 4, Focused Fire, has the trait Flourish. You limit the blast of your shot for accuracy. You launch your light mortar targeting a single square. The blast is limited to the targeted square, but deals 1 additional dive damage. I would probably do that most often, because it's extra damage. And if you're aiming at somebody, you probably don't want to hit the area around them anyway, because your friends are probably in melee. So Focused Fire, really useful, does more damage, cool. Next feat, level 4, Wrapped in Smoke, 1 action. Oh, Focused Fire was also 1 action. You ignite a small portion of powder in a rapid, inefficient burn, creating a hazy cloud. You create a cloud of smoke and a 5-foot emanation centered on your innovation, which is right next to you, which lasts for 1 minute. All creatures and objects within the smoke become concealed, and those outside the smoke become concealed to those within. So it's mostly just to protect you so that you can keep firing your mortar. But also remember that everybody outside of you is now concealed to you. Unless you can see through smoke. Yay, Ifrits. Next feat, level 6, Siege Celerity. Free action, has the traits Manipulate and Unstable. Good, we need some unstable actions here. Trigger, your turn begins. You push yourself and your light mortar beyond your limits. You are quickened for this turn. You can use the extra action to load or launch your light mortar. This doesn't allow you to bypass the normal limit of 1 launch per round. There's just a word missing there. It's okay. Next feat, level 8, Recoiling Relocation. This one's fun. Free action. It has the Flourish and Unstable traits. Trigger, you launch your light mortar. Requirements, you are adjacent to your light mortar. Your innovation contains a chamber to store a small amount of compressed exhaust gas from your launches. You can release this gas, coinciding with the recoil, to propel your mortar and yourself through the air to reach a better firing position. Totally logical! You and your light mortar move up to the light mortar's speed in the direction of your choice. You must end this movement adjacent to your innovation. This should be magical, because this makes no sense with the realities of physics. But it's fun! It's like the gunslinger being able to shoot the ground and you basically fly a short distance. That's what this does. And of course you have to take it because it's fun. Last feat, level 10, Burrowing Shot. 1 action. You tune your light mortar to maximize penetration into hard surfaces. You launch your light mortar, dealing half the normal amount of damage to creatures in the area of the blast, but double damage to objects and structures. That was essential to me to work in a book that's all about warfare, because there's supposed to be sieges and armies, and being able to do extra damage against objects and structures matters a lot in that arena. Whether it's destroying trebuchets or catapults, or armor, or castle walls. So overall, the Munitions Inventor is just fun. It's a little silly, but that's part of the fun. I would only take it if I had a character that is just quirky, like a gnome or a goblin inventor who's just obsessed with making explosions. Yes, I'd probably have to take an archetype of alchemist too, just to have more explosions. But I would do it. It's totally fun for that kind of build. I'm glad it exists. Thank you for being with me today. That's all I have for this video. More videos coming out. I just want to make sure to cover all of the things that I like from Battlecry, and that's almost everything. So there's more videos coming soon on it. I thank you for your patience in being here and for helping the channel so much. Liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. All the stuff you do is a great assistance to me. Thank you. He doesn't care. And if you are a patron, thank you for being here all the time. I appreciate you, and I'm glad that we get to talk on Discord. And if anybody wants to talk on Discord, just spit out the kitty hair and join the Discord with the link in the description. That's also on our YouTube homepage. Hi, I love you. Yes, you've never been pet before. Oh, God, I have all the pets. This is Gast, if you didn't know. Yes, he's undead. Aren't you? Yes, you do. He's like, Mom, is this okay? Yeah, he's a mama's boy. We have a wisdom check shop that will have hot sauce soon, because we have the labels. It's cool. This is delicious. It's habanero hot sauce. Hi. And it also will have very nerdy t-shirts going up on it soon. It already has dice. So take a look at that if you want. It's in the description links. If you want to catch the rest of Battlecry videos, they're here. If you want to see one of the many recent live streams we've been doing on Fridays making characters, it's over here. I will see you there. It's a